What is going on, everybody? It is your host, Nelly B, here back with another episode of the Zombies Radio podcast. And today, I'm joined by my good friend, another zombies enthusiast, if there ever was one, AryA316. Welcome back, AryA. How have you been, man? How's life treating you?
I've been good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. A lot better than last year. I could say that for sure.
That's good.
Yeah, man. But so just before we get into the nitty gritty, what's been up on YouTube, brother? How are you doing over there on your channel?
Honestly, I'm doing really good. I'm doing better than I ever was, in terms of, views and subscribers and everything like that. So everything's been good. Just got to keep uploading and keep hoping that people actually want to hear my voice.
Yeah,
So
and at least from
they
the
want to listen to
numbers,
my bullshit.
yeah, I mean, yeah, at least from the numbers that we see, people are definitely listening to you. I mean, it's it's great to see. Sorry about the cat in the background, but it's
It's all
it's
right.
awesome to see. I love it, man. I mean, I I think what you're doing over on your channel is great. I mean, I I don't want to be the person to say that I didn't think it would happen so soon, but I didn't think it would happen so soon, you know. I mean,
Same.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I do got to add
Yeah.
that, but it's amazing that you can be doing so well with, everything that you got going on, and I love to see it, friends prosper, and it's all you want to see. So
Well, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting, yeah, I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon either, and it kind of caught me by surprise. Like, because there are a lot of other people in the community that are making really good content,
mhm.
and it's sometimes you can't really imagine yourself competing with them. But
Mhm.
then, things start to happen, and you're like, okay, maybe I can do this.
Yeah. No, I totally feel that. I mean, recently I've just been trying to upload more and building my own self-confidence and just trying to find my place and what I want to do, but when you get recognition like that, it's definitely got to have an effect on how you think about it, I would assume, and hopefully it's all positive.
Yeah, no, it is. It definitely is positive. It's been hard. It's been a long road for me,
Mhm.
especially because I'm not one of those YouTubers that uploads daily. And I feel like if you're not one of those people, it's kind of hard to grow on YouTube because you're not the kind of person that YouTube wants to promote. They
Mhm.
want to promote, longer videos and, you know, uh, daily uploads and things like that. And if you're not one of those people, it's kind of hard, to get recognition. So you just kind of have to keep going and hope that people actually see your content and that they're going to like it, and then you get your name out there in the community, and maybe eventually things will start happen for you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know me and you we've been doing this for a couple of years making content, but recently it's kind of weird how obviously Musically came along and then TikTok took over and now YouTube's starting to do shorts and stuff like that. So I like that they're taking a more varied approach to content. So there's more access for other people who, don't want to make videos like we do and just want to be like, hey, here's this and boom. And I like that. It's much more inclusive, and it's I don't want to say it's easier for people to grow on YouTube now, but it's just it feels a lot more
Definitely not.
accepting. No, no.
Definitely not. It's not easier to grow because there's a lot more people on YouTube now. So
Oh yeah.
it's also a lot more competitive.
Mhm.
So it's not going to be easier to grow, but um I guess you have more tools in
Yeah,
your arsenal to be able to utilize so that you can grow.
exactly. Yeah, I guess that's what I was trying to say. But yeah, that's great. I'm glad you're doing great, but what the people are here for is some zombies chat. So let's get into it. The
Oh
the
yes.
update has been out for almost 2 weeks now, and you've had time to work on your review of the game mode itself and dive into the update a bit. You've talked about the new ammo mod and the field upgrades as well. You've touched on some of the new upgrades we got for those things. What I want to focus on right now is Outbreak itself, and then we'll dig in a bit deeper into some of the more nuanced fixes and changes. Um, So yeah, you mentioned in one of your videos, after playing the game mode for a few days, it starts to feel like you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. In reference to the objectives around the map, and a little later on, you mentioned that it needs more everything, and I want to take that into context with this first question. How do you feel when you first played to when you made the review as to compared to now? Because all of those events are about a week apart. So how would you put that into context for yourself?
Um, Honestly, more or less the same.
Okay.
Because they haven't really added much to it since it was released. I don't think they've added actually. I don't think they've added anything.
Yeah, no.
So, well, my opinion on Outbreak. Well, it's
It's a
it's a
loaded
good
question.
thing. No, Outbreak is great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic, but it's also a little bit shallow. And what I mean by that is Outbreak is called like they're treating this as if it's like this large scale zombies experience,
Hmm.
right? But the scale doesn't really contribute to much. You
Yeah.
know, the scale, it feels like it's not even important, you
Okay.
know? So the maps are kind of big,
Yeah.
but they're big for no reason. So it's like, the maps are big, but they're big for no reason because there's not much going on. Now, when they start adding more stuff to the maps, like if we get more side objectives and we get more, more things to do, they just gotta fill up the map with more things to do. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna make it something really, really great. Okay. But as it stands right now, it's kind of the skeleton is there for something really good, but
Hmm.
there's no meat on the bones,
Exactly.
right? It's kind of a bare bones thing right now.
Yeah.
So the blueprint is there, the format is there, the template is there. It's going to be something really, really good, and I'm glad that they did it.
Hmm.
It's just that we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for them to add some more stuff to it so that it can actually be what it's supposed to be.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I'd wholeheartedly agree with that. I mean, from the very first day of the game, I kind of had that idea as well. Obviously, I was just more infantilized with flying around the map in a parachute, but and running over zombies with cars. Like I love that. Like I'm gonna keep going back almost every day now just to hit a zombie with a sedan or a
It's
snowmobile or
very,
something
very
like that.
satisfying.
But you're totally right where it does feel like it's big for no reason. I was thinking about this last night. As any sane man would do up at 2 a.m. in the morning. I was thinking about the other modes that we had in zombies previously and even in this game, and how we could at least or put those into this game. So I was thinking, I don't know if it has it in Dead Ops Arcade 3, but I know in Dead Ops Arcade 2 and Black Ops 3 they have a top-down sort of racetrack. I believe they're with like RC cars or something, but it's a racetrack. And I feel like these maps are more than big enough to allow us to have a racetrack. Maybe have some ramps with points at a peak where you might hit to grab the point, just to incentivize people to use that vehicle and jump the ramp and do more stuff like that. I think
That's
little
actually a great idea.
yeah, little pocket
Yeah.
modes like that around the map where it's like, oh, we could go to
Yeah.
the objective right now, but we could also race. And I'm excited. I'm mainly talking about that stuff because the vehicles is one of the main things. I think if you break it down, what makes it different, other than the large map, at least at this point, and
Yeah.
we're most likely going to be getting more stuff, more trucks and stuff like that. I'm really excited for that motorcycle. That's why I mentioned the races. I would love something like that, and I think with how well Treyarch implemented the mode as sort of a foundation, I think, or I have confidence that they're going to be able to do these other things as well. Even though like some of the LTMs that they released in the past they're not my favorite. One and done's for
Yeah.
me. But yeah,
Yeah, I think we're gonna get something like that. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like you have a big map, you have vehicles,
Hmm.
you have zombies. Why not? Right?
Exactly.
And I hope we do. I hope they do more with those, kind of large scale maps other than just Outbreak. I hope we see more of those big maps. I think they're a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I don't want to get too into leaks because I don't really care for them anymore. But um, there's talk about a standalone zombies game. I don't really trust the validity of that in itself, but I do think that Outbreak has showed, at least Treyarch, that we're willing to venture into these larger scale maps, and when they're excuse me, let me grab some of my drink real quick. I think after they're done adding to Outbreak and at least getting it to where a point where like Warzone is now, where they're doing uh uh seasonal events, on a regular basis, they could venture into these larger scale maps. Maybe I heard a lot of talk on Twitter about the Great War map, where uh I think is
Okay.
it Primus? I think it's Primus when they go back and they fight the Great War,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
we see something
Premise.
like that. And I always I always forget the name of it. It's the last map in Black Ops 4. Uh
Uh,
the Call of the
last
Dead
month
remake.
the Tag der Toten.
Tog der Toten, yes. I think we
Yeah.
saw a little 2D animation of that in the intro or the
Yeah.
outro, one of the two. But yeah, I would love to see like these bigger maps, obviously when they're done innovating with Outbreak, because that mode in itself is just has so many options, but it also leads the door open for even more options in different game modes or just larger scale maps in general. Like I
That would be fantastic if we got like a Great War map with one of those Outbreak maps. It would be great.
oh
I
yeah.
hope it doesn't crash the game because it's just supposed to be a bunch of boss zombies spawning in and trying to murder you, and you're supposed to kill them with the staffs or whatever.
Oh.
That's kind of what the poster was for
Yeah,
the Great
yeah.
War. It's just a premise with the ancient staffs trying to fight off the apothecons. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's. I hope it doesn't crash the game. It seems like it's a lot. You
I
know.
I wasn't thinking of it like that because I was when I was thinking of that map, I was thinking of big maps, origins, and you know how in the intro cutscene of that they all have their own weapon and stuff, but when they spawn in, they don't have any of it. The intro cutscene is more so like
Maybe
a
that's the case. Yeah.
infantilized version of how they got there, and
Yeah.
I could see them more likely starting us out in these big maps, how they do with this one, with Outbreak, just having a bunch of zombies everywhere and probably having doors to buy. I don't know if that would be a good idea. I imagine these maps smaller than Outbreak maps, but bigger than a regular zombies map, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be good.
I I gotta say my mind hasn't really changed since like day 3. It's a great mode. I'm having fun, but it needs a lot more. Going from that, I think including Easter eggs, a main Easter egg even that would be pretty dope. What else? What else was I
They
gonna
said they
say?
were gonna add that, right?
I uh
I think they did. They said they're gonna add a main Easter egg on season 3 or something like that.
okay. I
I don't know.
don't. Yeah, I checked the
Maybe I'm
blog
not remembering
post
it correctly.
recently, but I skimmed it, so they might have said it in there, but I didn't see anything about that. I'm If so, then hell yeah. I mean, I'm down. Shoot.
Yeah,
I mean, I was gonna
that'd be
buy
good.
the season 3 battle pass anyways, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, go moving on from Outbreak itself, because we've already established it's a great building, great foundation for what's to come in future seasons. But there's also been other things added, like the new Frenzied Guard and Shattered Blast, and I had a very strange experience with Frenzy Guard. I was going for Dark Aether Street Sweeper, the shotgun, and I used Frenzied Guard, the what's it called? The field upgrade that allows you to get all your
Yeah.
armor back.
Yeah.
And when I activated it, there was a dog that hit me. And when the dog hit me, it
That's a
died.
bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very common. It happens. I think it's tier 4 or tier 5 for Frenzy Guard. It creates
Yeah.
that kind of, yeah, it
And
makes a dog where the dog doesn't die and
yeah,
but it can still hit you. It's really
you can't
annoying.
do
I
any
don't know if they
damage to
fixed
it,
it or not.
but the
I don't know
bullets
if they
still hit
fixed
it.
it or not. I hope they fix it soon because it's really, really
I hope
irritating.
so, yeah. But the only reason why I mention that is because I really like it. Like, other than
Oh, I love it.
camping on D Machine, I'm using Frenzy Guard on Outbreak. Like, that's my setup. So I'm
Yeah,
that
same.
also puts hope back into me for like what the future has for this game. What else are they gonna add? How well are they gonna implement these other things? And I feel I have to make the distinction. Excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with me. I have to make the distinction that in the past I just very skeptical of all the new stuff that they've been adding because my feeble mind couldn't understand one map at launch, and the LTMs that they were adding in just weren't my jam. So I've this update generally has just made me more appreciative of what they have and the potential that they have over at the studios, and especially working from home because they're doing some big things over there. I gotta say.
The I think this is by far one of, if not the biggest update that we've gotten in zombies,
Oh
and the
yeah.
fact that it's free,
Uh
um,
huh.
that's a big plus.
Oh yeah.
I think they're doing great. Honestly, Treyarch's been doing really well with the game lately. Like, I'm one of those like really pessimistic guys. I'm like, I look at an update. I'm like, it's probably not going to be as good as they advertise, but
Mm-hmm.
but with this one, they knocked it out of the park. I got to give them credit. They did really well with it. We got a new game mode. It's something that we'd never seen, to that extent before. We got a new field upgrade. We got a new ammo mod. We got new support items. We got a bunch of stuff for free, basically. It was really cool. It's really good to see them actually go that direction and finally give zombies the love that it actually deserves.
Yeah, I agree. They're definitely giving zombies a lot of love this time around, and people are always going to have their gripes. I don't want to like focus on these or try and bash people for having these type of concerns, but some people were saying Samantha Maxis should have been a free Easter egg reward, and um, that the new mode in general just isn't good, or the trials, and there are nitpicks here and there, but generally it goes
Sure,
back
yeah.
to appreciating how well the things that do work and are going to work in the future. And it's not even just that this is a new mode, it's the potential for what they can do with it. And I mean, like I said,
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
excited.
it's a good start.
Hmm.
It's a really good start. Yeah, sure, it's not the most amazing thing ever, but it's a good start. The foundation is there. They just got to tweak a few things. They just got to fine tune a few things, and then it's going to be really, really good. And I mean, the criticism for the operator, the Samantha Maxis operator, I guess that's valid. But
Hmm.
um,
To
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't really care about it. I
Yeah.
don't really care about operators that much in this game because they make they make no difference. They don't
Yeah.
say anything that
Hmm.
important. They don't, and you can't really. It's a first person shooter. You can't
Yeah,
really see
exactly.
them either, and they don't really talk that much.
Hmm.
So it's not like Samantha is going to make that much of a difference. It'll just be Samantha saying, "Hey, you're dead, asshole," when she kills a zombie, instead of Woods saying it,
Yeah.
because they all say the same shit. It's just they say it in kind of like different ways. They just say, "Oh, you're dead," or "I need some ammo." They just
Yeah.
say they're robots. They don't really say much.
Yeah, and I think that is what people's argument for her being free as like a reward for an Easter egg.
Oh,
But at the
because it's
same
not good.
Yeah, but at the same
Okay,
time, me personally, day one, I bought the skin. Now, if you didn't buy the battle pass and you haven't been playing that much, the skin itself is going to cost $25, I believe, a 20 and then a $5 pack of COD
wow,
points. But I already had been earning COD points and I dropped $20 on it, and I'm more than
really?
happy with my purchase. Yep, yes.
Okay,
And I didn't do it for any reason in particular other than to just be like, I've been, hearing and seeing this character in game for so long, and just knowing that I'm playing as her now, I guess gives me a little
Isn't it gonna be weird though when you're playing as Samantha Maxis and you do the Firebase Z Easter egg and then your job is to save Samantha Maxis?
oh dude, I'm trying to get a
It's
whole
gonna
lobby
be
full of Samanthas just for that. Just for the
that's gonna
video.
be the best acid trip I have
Hell yeah, dude.
ever taken. It's gonna be great.
Phenomenal.
It'd be weird, a little weird,
Yeah,
a little one too many Samanthas, but it is what it is.
it's gotta be. But
Yeah.
on the topic of innovation with zombies itself, we've already talked about Outbreak and stuff like that. But one of the things that I mentioned in my review is that I wouldn't have played for as much as I did if it weren't for also, I mean, the leveling, obviously, the battle pass, and the upgrades, the new upgrades that we got. Now, I do plan on doing a video about all of them. For
Yes.
the, what are they called? The pack punch or the weapon abilities. I don't remember
The ammo mods?
the ammo mods. Yes, I'm
Oh.
bad with
Yeah.
names.
All tier 4 and tier 5 upgrades. I'm gonna make a video on that. It's just that I'm in the process of unlocking everything because it
Okay.
takes a little while.
Yeah.
And I'm almost done. There's just a couple more things I gotta unlock, and then yeah, I'm gonna make a video about those, and it's gonna be a big one, and it's gonna be great. Or I'm gonna chop it up into different, smaller videos and
Yeah.
upload them every day. So we'll see. But yeah, I got a lot of opinions about those too.
Okay. I'm excited to look into them. I don't have them all upgraded, but I do have enough crystals to do it. I just haven't been home for the past couple of days, so I'm gonna dive into that as soon as we get done here. Start writing up my review about those. But I just have a question. Because Deadwire in Black Ops 3 was one of my favorite ammo mods, as you say.
It was everybody's favorite, I think.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Brain Rot in Black Ops 3 as well, but not for the same reasons, obviously. But I believe that Brain Rot and Deadwire have made a comeback, and I saw your video about that. Do you want to elaborate on that, if you could?
Yeah. So I made a video about Shatter Blast, and I kind of talked about how it's kind of a mediocre ammo mod, and that it doesn't stand a chance against Deadwire and Brain Rot. And the reason why is because with the tier 4 and 5 upgrades, the Deadwire and Brain Rot, they've become so good that it's like impossible for you to like anything else.
Yeah.
Like, they're so good now.
Mm-hmm.
Deadwire is incredible. It was the best
yes.
one. It's still the best one. Now it's even better.
Mm-hmm.
And Brain Rot is really, really good, considering the fact that now it can turn special enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are actually saying Cryo Freeze is good too.
Okay.
But I haven't really given it a try, so I'm not sure. But Cryo Freeze was good. It was the worst initially, and then they fixed the cooldown time for it.
Okay.
They changed it from 3 seconds to 1 second, and now it's really, really good.
Oh, dope.
And
should try it out.
Yeah, and when you look at Shatter Blast, it has a 25-second cooldown time.
Mm-hmm.
It does decent damage. It's all right, and it knocks down the enemies. And
Okay.
there aren't that many boss zombies that it's effective against.
Yeah.
You know how every ammo mod does extra damage to a certain enemy type?
Yeah.
Shatter Blast only works against the Panzers in Outbreak.
Really?
And it's good. Yeah. And it's good against the armored zombies. It doesn't do like extra damage, but the explosion effect instantly kills the armored enemies.
Oh, okay.
So that's good.
Yeah.
But the problem is the cooldown time is a lot. Like, the cooldown time is a little long for what it's capable of. And the problem is Deadwire is also good against the armored zombies.
Oh, yeah.
Deadwire is good against everything.
Mm-hmm.
honestly. I mean, except the Panzer, it doesn't do much against the Panzers.
Yeah, I
But go
oh,
ahead.
like I said, I haven't been testing it, but yeah, Deadwire is definitely the standout one. It sucks because I knew that from the beginning of the game that we were going to get additions and I didn't think exactly possible new levels to these items, but I just thought to save up crystals and to be able to earn them more, I would just not upgrade one thing. And it didn't work, but I kept that one thing unupgraded, and that was brain rot, and I've since changed my ways. And
Yeah.
I've only been able to use it up against one mangler, I believe, but I mean, shoot, he was fighting on my side for a good minute. He was putting in the work, putting down the hands, and I appreciated him for that. So brain rot might have to go in my my arsenal a bit more often now. Um,
I
yeah,
think they fixed that exploit where you could leave something unupgraded and then keep earning crystals. They fixed it.
yeah, they
So you
fixed
can't do
that.
that anymore. Yeah.
Do you know when they fixed that?
I don't know. I logged on today and my one extra crystal that I had, it was gone.
Oh, okay,
And it wouldn't let me earn any more refined crystals.
gotcha.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
they patched that.
Well, I haven't been on in a couple of days, so
Yeah.
I might be missing a couple, but yeah,
Yeah.
that sucks.
But going back to brain rot, some of the turned bosses, they're kind of shit.
Okay. Like,
Um, the Tempest is awful.
oh, oh, that's rough.
I hate him. I
Really?
hate him so much. I hate him when he's not turned. I hate him when he's turned.
Yeah, he
I
is a bit
hate
of a
every version
handful.
of him. He's an awful enemy type. Just absolute garbage. I hate him so much. He's so annoying. The fact that even when you're like driving around in a vehicle, if they catch a glimpse of you, you can't get away from them no matter how fast you drive.
Yep, that's
And
true.
they can and yeah, and they can disable your vehicle and they teleport really, really
Hmm.
fast. And they don't I mean, they have a weak spot, but it's not exactly the hitbox for that weak spot. I think it's their chest.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
the hitbox for it is so small that it's really difficult to hit, you know?
Yeah. You know what's funny
And
about them? They I was doing one of the dragon outposts one time, and I was shooting one, and you know how there's one on Alpine, and I was shooting one of the Tempests, and he kept teleporting backwards, and he teleported into that area that like slows you down and does damage to you. He died
out
in
of
that
bounds.
area. Yeah,
He did. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that
Maybe
was
we should do that.
that was dope. I was I was like, yeah, well, just don't walk away. Just come get the
Yeah, and
whooping.
there's
Just take it.
yeah. And there's like too many of them, and when you turn them, they don't somehow when they're up against you, they're like really good and they teleport 100 times and they keep hitting you and they never miss.
Hmm.
But when you turn them, they can't do shit. They're like a disabled little kid. Like they can't do anything,
Wheelchair
you
and all.
know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I hate them. I hate them so much. And when you kill them, they don't really give you anything except for ammo.
Yeah, but what zombie
I hate
doesn't
them.
now?
Right. And the only one that's really, really good, honestly, when you turn them is the Mangler. For
Okay.
some reason, the Mangler is so OP.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Well, he
he's
is a
slow.
beefcake.
Yeah, he's a big old beefy boy. Like he's slow, but one time I turned a Mangler and there was another Mangler against him, and the turned Mangler turned around and he one hit killed the other Mangler. Just slapped him in the face, and then he just kind of imploded. I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
okay.
The theories
And
behind
he
that.
kept going. It wasn't like and he kept going after that. He kept going after the zombies. He, one hits everything. He's really good. And he one time he killed a panzer in like two or three hits, which was that was amazing. I was like, okay, from now on, I'm just gonna turn the panzers
I'm
because they're
starting to
really good.
think that the zombies are being controlled again, and they don't like other zombies. Like zombies hate themselves and other zombies. So they're kind of holding back on you. And I believe Turn kind of breaks that little hypnosis. So they're like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
fuck them motherfuckers. I
it's
know
it's
exactly what they
it's a
want.
little trippy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's insane to me. I didn't think about that. He like I said, he was putting them hands down.
yeah. These are the kind of the kind of thoughts you have at like 3 a.m. when you're like super baked. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's definitely my thought process when I'm playing this game.
Yeah. Well, the one last thing that I want to talk about, because I want to eventually make a video about this in the future, but not this specific, but the way that I think Cold War doesn't work, in my opinion at least. So we've talked about the Samantha operator, and I just want to get your opinion and expand on it a bit more. How do you feel about operators instead of in-universe characters? Like, do you like the fact that we can get a Samantha or potentially older characters coming back, maybe transit crew just to f with people?
No,
Or
honestly, I hate the whole idea of operators. I hate them.
okay.
And it's okay. Let me change that. I don't hate the idea of operators. I hate how it's done in this game.
How so?
Okay, because okay, well, first of all, we're making a crossover with multiplayer and campaign,
Yeah.
and I'm just not a big fan of that. You know, because as a zombies player, all you want to do is play zombies,
Yeah.
right? And you know the storyline, you know what's happening. And now with this crossover, you're probably going to have to go look at the multiplayer storyline or the campaign storyline or whatever. And I'm not going to lie, I don't care about any of those.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't care about the campaign storyline. I don't care about the multiplayer. I don't care about any of those. I don't care about the backstory of any of the operators. I don't.
Okay.
So,
It's understandable.
and with them doing this kind of crossover where you can play as the operators in multiplayer, I could love the idea, but it's executed so poorly because the characters don't really matter. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
They don't play a role in the storyline. They don't say anything. They don't do anything. Um, their existence is kind of like insignificant
Yeah.
to everything that's happening. So even if they do bring Ultimus and Primus or whoever, um, I don't think I'll care that much because I doubt that they'll actually say things either. Like
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna have Woods as an operator not say anything, and then they're gonna bring Richtofen and he's just gonna be a fucking chatterbox.
Mhm.
I don't think it's gonna work that way. They're gonna
Yeah.
have to keep it consistent. So if they're gonna bring back Richtofen, he's gonna be there just as a body, just
Yeah.
as another operator in the pack. Like he's not gonna matter,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna hate that. I'm gonna hate to
Yeah.
see Richtofen being so indifferent towards everything that's happening around him when I'm used to the old Richtofen that used to comment on everything that was happening.
Mhm.
You know?
Especially how we left off with those characters. I like. I
Oh
don't.
yeah.
I don't. I don't think they have the cojones to do that to those characters. However, I could see other side characters like maybe we get. I'm drawing a blank. He was the dude hanging on Shino Numa. Um,
Peter McCain.
Peter McCain. We might see
Okay.
him. Characters like that. Characters that were
Okay.
mentioned. I think there's also another the Mexican test subject. These are just off the top of my head.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, but I know who you're
I don't
talking
think
about. Okay.
he does have a name, but yeah, I don't remember it either. But yeah, I think
Pablo Marinus?
Pablo Marinez, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was
I hope
thinking,
I'm not wrong. People are gonna roast me in the comments.
oh,
You fucking idiot.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good part about that is if we're wrong, we'll know it.
Right,
So,
right, yeah.
but
For your lovely people in the comments section, we will know.
yeah, by the time you've commented that, we already know the answer. So
Yeah, right.
comment it anyways. It's all the same to YouTube.
Roast me. This is a roast me podcast. People are
Exactly.
just going to be in the comments just roasting the shit out of us for not knowing anything about zombies in the first place.
I'm gonna start making fun of our face, even though they can't see us.
Right.
Big
Right.
ass eyebrows. What you
Yeah.
talking about, bro?
Unibrow, fucking looking ass.
But I think mainly what this argument comes down to is what do they take away and what do they add? And I don't think they essentially add anything, especially because you already brought it up. It's a first person game. And I see more of at least a practical sense to go with different colored gloves than it is to focus or at least have the character you're playing as in a zombies map be someone who's just saying something as someone else. Because if you think about all the great zombies maps, they have very distinct crews and characters, and they have stories to them, at least for a map or two. And so, like Mob of the Dead and that crew, or Origins, and their banter with each other and commenting on the different aspects of that specific map and not just saying generals like holy shit that's a big ass zombie, stuff like that. And I could understand that. I am someone who's a bit of a consumer. I have to admit I'm willing to pay $20 to be able to play as a character that I will probably never actually see in games. So whatever, that's me. But I do genuinely see where people are like, this just ain't working, pops. It's not
Yeah.
it's not happening. I don't
I
like it.
think with Black Ops 4, their main focus that is towards, gameplay and innovating in that aspect of the game, that something else had to give,
Hmm.
right? They had to sacrifice something. And that one thing in this game, I think it's the storyline and the characters.
Hmm.
So the storyline is not at the forefront anymore. It's not as prominent, like it's not as in your face. Like you compare it to something like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4,
Excuse.
where the storyline was so significant that it was just such a huge part of the game,
Hmm.
as opposed to in Cold War, where you play as characters who don't even say anything. It's
Yeah.
a big contrast, but on the other side, you see what they did with gameplay, and that kind of makes up for it. But
Yeah.
that's one of my criticisms of Cold War Zombies, is that they need to um they need to do more with the story, because it's, as it stands right now, it's kind of not interesting.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's one of the sacrifices that they had to make. I get it. We're playing a game, we're not reading a book, we're not watching a movie. The first thing that's gotta work is the gameplay,
And the
and the
gameplay
storyline,
loop.
and
Yep.
everything else comes in second. And I
Exactly.
get that. So, but still, it wouldn't, I wouldn't mind, you know, I wouldn't mind them adding a little bit more to the story, just a little bit, just give 10% more, just to, keep me a little bit more captivated.
Yeah, and I think of it in the sense of a community because that's really one of the main reasons why I was so invested into zombies and still am. I mean, back when Black Ops 3 was coming out or was out, I wasn't only watching, tutorials or reviews or anything like that. I was watching 30-minute hour-long videos on the story and what these characters
Yeah.
and what they're doing and what they're saying has to do with the story at large, and that builds a sense of community. And when you don't have that, when that aspect is kind of put to the wayside, not only do people feel, I don't want to use this word because it's a loaded word, but it's just I'm simplifying here. It's you'll never fucking believe this, but I forgot the word. Marginalized. That's the
Okay.
word.
Okay. That's the
Part of
word.
the
All right.
community feels marginalized, and
I see.
part of the communication and conversation kind of feels stifled simply because okay, we I mean, I like the Firebase Z Easter egg. I mean, I was following what exactly it was we were doing, but that
Yeah.
only goes so far, and you can only do so many things when you're playing as a different character potentially every game. So it's
Right.
it's a bit of a messed bag, but I do, like you said, I do think that the gameplay greatly at least benefits from that. If we have anything to gain from no story, is the gameplay,
If
it
you
is a
look
bit
at
better.
Black Ops 3, Black Ops 3 had this story that was, complicated, was still convoluted as ever. But the thing that Jason Blundell did that kind of elevated the story to another level was that he focused on the characters, that
Mhm.
he kind of grounded the story to a level where it was more about the characters. The game itself is kind of a character study,
Oh, yeah.
because you go to every single map, and like each map is dedicated to one character
Mhm.
where you just explore the different dimensions of that personality. And I think that helped a lot because, people might not care about the apothecons or the keepers or whatever, but if you tap into the human condition, if you try to explore the humanity of those characters, then people are going to pay attention, then people are going to listen.
I agree.
And that's
Mhm.
why I think the story in Black Ops Cold War, it might not work as well, even if they do start to, give it more attention. I don't think it'll work as well because the character that we play as are not going to be explored as well.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to be relatable because they're such robots. They're so bland.
And I could talk about just this topic alone, but especially or specifically when we're talking about Black Ops 3 is that every map was essentially what you said, a character study. But what people also forget about is that so was Shadows of Evil in a way. I mean, all the characters in that map had a purpose for being there and doing what they were doing. And to even break that
Exactly.
down, each section of the map or majority of the sections of the map were dedicated to specific characters, and you could go
Right,
around
right,
and
yeah.
look and be like, oh well, this is how he kind of spends his time and how she spends her time, and get into have hidden Easter eggs and stuff like that. And that, like, it's mainly for the conversational aspect, and that's why I really appreciate Black Ops 3. I feel like Treyarch was kind of just going in there flexing their guns because they've kind of not perfected that gameplay loop. I say that to the extent that it didn't get better after that, especially at least in my opinion, going into Black Ops 4, it's much more similar to that kind of gameplay than it is Cold War, at least in my opinion. And I feel like they said, okay, we've got the gameplay loop down. We're gonna add a few things, we're gonna tweak a few things, make it more polished and stuff. But now we can start writing stories and actually creating these characters. And I feel like because gaming is an art form, whether you like it or not, and people can create these kind of stories through these modes of gameplay, especially zombies, sort of a PVE mode. It is a PVE mode, and this is why I said I could talk about this for hours, but we got to end this here soon because we're dragging on. Not dragging. Sorry, I don't know how to use words. But yeah, no, I just that's one of the main reasons why I love Black Ops 3 Zombies, but why I'm trying to give Cold War a chance because I can see the potential for great, amazing gameplay, but unfortunately, that story aspect, at least as it stands, how it is in Cold War right now, it's never going to reach Black Ops 3 heights. And I would say
Yeah.
even to Black Ops 4 with the map design and how, because Ancient Evil had its own story and the characters had a role to play in that. And us going into it, we're kind of sort of the Doom guy now, essentially, just less badass because our character is a
Yeah.
clown now. So
Basically.
yeah, but uh, I don't know, man. It's been a rough road, but I'm happy where we are right now, and the future's looking bright. So I'm I'm excited.
What do you think they're gonna add to Outbreak though to make it like? What do you think they're gonna add to it to make it a little bit more fun? Maybe a little bit more. I don't know, just a little bit more enjoyable.
So when I think of Outbreak, I think of it in terms of um what it means to Treyarch. And I think the support from it, at least at this point, leads is going to lead them to believe that this is the new platform for zombies, the same way Warzone is for multiplayer. You know, there's a huge fit. I mean, there's still a multiplayer fan base, but now there's this huge other fan base that probably doesn't care much for anything about Modern Warfare or Cold War's multiplayer, but they're on Warzone all day. And I feel like obviously Zombies has a limit to how much a normal human can play it in a day. You know, that gameplay loop does get tiring, but I feel like they're gonna not just do limited time events, but stuff like the race cars and just having more objectives to do around the map. There's gonna be the main Easter egg, but to build upon that, I want to see stuff from the dark aether leaking in, because what the hell is that cloud around us? It's not closing in, it's
Right.
just chilling there.
Yeah.
So maybe there's stuff popping out of that. Maybe there's a character who has just been torn limb from limb and he's on his last breath and he's like, well, I figured it out, I figured something out, maybe we can go and do this and try and build a better weapon, you know, more weapons. And obviously they're going to add more maps and more wonder weapons to those specific maps, but Outbreak is sort of an amalgamation of everything that Zombies is doing and what it can be, but it's not being held back by the scale. And essentially I just see a playground like Warzone, or I know we
Yeah,
probably shouldn't
that's a
be
good way
mentioning this when
to
talking
describe
about
it.
yeah, I know we probably shouldn't be mentioning this about Zombies, but get a little Fortnite vibes too, you know? I love driving around in
Yeah,
the car with the
yeah,
homies, blasting BO2 menu music, just running
yeah.
over zombies. It's
It's
dope.
pretty fun. Yeah.
And
Um.
yeah, they just need to capitalize on that. What would you
Yeah.
say needs what it needs?
I think some sort of an entity in the map, like a character in the map.
Okay.
You know how in Firebase Z you have this guy and he just kind of
Mm,
walks you through everything.
okay.
Um, Something like that in Outbreak would really help, but I need that to be like interactive. Like it's someone like you remember playing the attack of the radioactive thing in Infinite Warfare Zombies?
Yes.
How you could get Elvira to jump in and help you kill zombies, or it was like in Zombies in Spaceland, it was Hasselhoff where you
Yeah.
could,
And there was
something
one,
like that,
yeah. That's
you know, like
I
the
hadn't even
Civil
thought of that.
Protector. If they added him to Outbreak, that would be great.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Yeah,
That's a really cool idea. I mean, that leads that opens the door for not only, you know, better gameplay, but also like, well, who can we see now? What's the limit? Like what voice actors can they look at now? I would personally love Nick Cage following me around the map, but I will settle for
Nick
Snoop Dogg.
Cage.
Yeah, because if they're not
Yeah,
gonna,
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
a man can dream, okay?
Yeah,
But
yeah, of course.
I only say that because, like we've already said, the story has kind of taken a back seat to the gameplay. So I don't know, I don't know. That is a really good idea though. I haven't thought about that yet, and maybe
That's just a small thing I thought of, you know, from the top of my head, but obviously more objectives, main Easter egg, but those are things that we're going to get for sure.
mhm.
It's just I need the map to we need to be able to do more inside the maps.
Oh yeah.
Um because right now there's just like two or three side objectives
Hmm.
and there's the main objective and then there's the trials. And that's really it. There's not much else to do,
Yeah,
right?
and
We just need to be able to do more in the map.
to add on to that, I feel like that gameplay loop stops when you eventually get all your perks, unless you go down, obviously. But once you got all your perks, you most likely, if you did everything right, you probably have a wonder weapon by that point too. So you're just pack a punching and going. And I feel like there needs to be something after that, something that's like kind of like the other side missions where it doesn't necessarily, I mean, it can be where it needs to be done, but I don't think it essentially, I don't think that would, what am I trying to say here? I don't think it needs to be, essentially. It doesn't need to be something that needs to be done, but the side mode where it's like, okay, well, I've got all
Right.
this stuff done, and
Something
I'm
extra.
stuck on the race car thing. I can't get it off my mind.
Yeah.
I just love the vehicles.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything you'd like to add to this discussion of Outbreak?
No, sir.
Oh, all right.
I've said it all.
Well,
I think. I don't know. There's a lot to say, but we'd be here for days. So
yeah. Call me back if
yeah,
you think of anything.
sure. We'll do another episode.
Sounds good. But
Yeah.
that's about it. everything we have for this episode. I think it was a lengthy discussion. I honestly, like we both said, we could be talking about this for hours, but sadly we have to wrap it up. I want to thank you, AryA, for stopping by on a call and getting back to the
Thanks for
basics with
having me,
me.
man.
Yeah, of
I
course.
appreciate it.
Literally anytime.
It was fun.
I'm lonely.
Same.
Just talking zombies and zombies related topics over here. It's like I said, it's been a real pleasure. If there's anything that you want to shout out, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, now's the time.
Well, not really. I mean, I'm just a guy that says things and thinks is good enough to put on the internet. So I guess just to follow my YouTube channel. That's all I want. I don't really care. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I guess we'll leave the links in the description.
Hell yeah. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, just follow me. I shit post every now and then on Twitter. So
Hell yeah. It's a hoot and a half. I'm over there too.
yeah.
A lot of banter.
You'll catch us talking a lot of shit. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's it for episode 12. It has been phenomenal, but this is the end. Make sure you guys stay safe, wear a mask, and peace.